He was inspired by His Holiness Bhakti Samrat Maharaj's scientific presentation of Krishna consciousness philosophy. He received the initiation by His Holiness Radheshyam Swami Maharaj in 1993. He is a president of the Pune branch of ISKCON, NVCC, since 1997. He is the director of Vedic Oasis, that is WISE, youth and he is also a youth counselor and corporate advisor. He has compiled many pocket books on topics relevant to corporates like stress management, etc. He has published 5-volume series on spirituality for modern youth, Discover Yourself, Your Best Friend, and so on. Also, he has compiled a 5-volume series on course on essence of Bhagavad Gita, positive thinker, self-manager, and so forth. He offers seminars on stress management, proactive leadership, time management, self-management in various corporates, colleges, institutes, yoga communities, and as well as temples. He offered a semester course at even International Institute for Information Technology on the topic of effective leadership and time management. And from ISKCON, he has been conferred the Global Excellency Award for the year 2004 for his valuable contribution to the Youth Mission, and Jiva Goswami Award in 2005 for innovative youth leadership. Prabhuji is also now looking at his successful leadership skills. They have given him the responsibility of Global Duty Officer. With that, he is traveling all over the world now, and extremely blessed to have him here at ISKCON Boston. He has been coming very regularly to Boston every year twice. So this year probably has come again in this winter, and he'll stay with us for 2 more weeks. And unfortunately, we have only one Sunday left for him to give us Sunday quick stop. So today is that day. Even though the weather is not good, but we didn't have any other option. So kindly forgive us because of the bad weather. Not many people will come. But however, we are broadcasting on the Zoom. Hopefully, they will be watching us and they will be listening us. And we are also recording. It will be on the YouTube, so they can listen us later if they did not happen to see or hear today's talk. Okay. So let us welcome His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu from Pura Pahar, Balavli chanting Hari Bol. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Oh, His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. Yeah. Jaya Radha
श्री गौरताई की Srila Prabhupada ki with the child saying Jai Jai. Very good, very good. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Om Vishnupadaya Krishna-pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Paschatya-deshatarine Vanchakalpatarusmyascha Vipasindubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome all of you for the Sunday evening program. We are reciting the shloka from the first canto, 6th chapter, text number 21. Hantas. Before we recite this, we will chant the prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye. Nashtaprayeshva bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Please allow me to repeat this verse. Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Mam drashtumiharhati.
Mam drashtumiharhati.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan. Mam drashtumiharhati. Avipakvakashayanam. Durdarshoham kuyoginam. Hantasmin janmani bhavan. Mamam drashtumiharhati. Avipakvakashayanam. Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Mamam drashtum iharati.
Mamam drashtumiharhati.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Yes, yeah.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Mamam drashtum iharati.
Mamam drashtumiharhati.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Mamam drashtum iharhati.
Mamam drashtumiharhati.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Avipakvakashayanam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Durdarshoham kuyoginam.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Hantasmin janmani bhavan.
Mamam drashtum iharhati.
Mamam drashtumiharhati. Avipakvakashayanam. Durdarshoham kuyoginam. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Oh Narada, the Lord said, I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material things can hardly see me. The Lord said, O Narada,
O Narada,
I regret that during this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore. Those who are incomplete in service and who are not completely free from all material taints can hardly see me. Purport. The personality of Godhead is described in the Bhagavad Gita as the most pure, the supreme, and the absolute truth. There is no trace of a tinge of materiality in his person, and thus one who has the slightest tinge of material affection cannot approach him. The beginning of devotional service starts from the point when one is free from at least two forms of material modes, namely the mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Then one is in the remaining mode of nature goodness. The result is exhibited by the signs of being freed from kama, lust and lobha, covetousness or greed. That is to say, one must be freed from the desires for self-satisfaction and other is for self-gratification. And to be completely freed from all material tinges is to become free from the mode of goodness also. To search the audience of God in the lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. From here only I suggested the topic today, a lovely speech in the lonely forest. I got the word lonely from here. So to search the audience of God in the lonely forest is considered to be in the mode of goodness. One can go out into the forest to attain spiritual perfection. But that does not mean that one can see the Lord personally there. One must be completely freed from all material attachment and be situated on the plane of transcendence, which alone will help the devotee get in personal touch with the personality of God. The best method is that one should live at a place where the transcendental form of the Lord is worshipped. The temple of the Lord is a transcendental place, whereas the forest is a materially good habitation. A neophyte devotee is always recommended to worship the deity of the Lord Archana rather than go to the forest to search out the Lord. Devotional service begins from the process of Archana, which is better than going out in the forest. In his present life, which is completely free from all material hankerings, Sri Narada Muni does not go into the forest, although he can turn every place into Vaikuntha by his presence only. He travels from one planet to another to convert men, gods, kinnaras, gandharvas, rishis, munis, and all others to become devotees of the Lord. By his activities, he has engaged in many devotees like Prahlad, Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, and many others in the transcendental service of the Lord. A pure devotee of the Lord therefore follows in the footsteps of the great devotees like Narada and Prahlad and engages his whole time in glorifying the Lord by the process of Kirtana. Such a preaching process is transcendental to all material qualities. So, the essence of Prabhupada's purport, I will tell you now, just a few sentences. The context in which this verse appears is as follows. We all know about the great sage Narada. But how Narada became Narada, that is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam. In his previous life, Narada narrates this to Yudhishthira Maharaj, that he happened to be one very beautiful Gandharva, whose name was Upavarhana. And this Gandharva had curly locks of hair, had a very handsome face, he had a very sweet voice, and he used to roam always surrounded by beautiful apsaras. And he would have sandalwood pulp on his body. And in this way he was going from place to place. In the modern language they call it like a playboy. With a group of many different apsaras he would roam around like that, being a very handsome Gandharva. At one point of time, they arrived at a place where the devatas, demigods, are all having a meeting, gathering. And the meeting was about to end when these people arrived there. At the end, they all stood up and they were glorifying Supreme Lord in Sankirtan, doing Sankirtan of the Lord. But this Upavarana Gandharva who was standing behind, just to entertain those apsaras, he sort of ridiculed that kirtan by singing something else. Imagine, for example, you are singing Hare Krishna, somebody else is singing some cinema song behind. How it will be, So the demigods became angry and they cursed that Gandharva, that because you have offended the Supreme Lord, because you to become, a poverty-stricken child in the family of a simple maid woman, maid servant in the village, as you see here. So Narada is personally narrating the story to Vedavyas in the Srimad Bhagavatam. He says, when I glided down from the heavens, in the Antariksha, I fell to the earth. And here I was born as an insignificant son of a maid servant in a village. So this maid servant actually was a single woman living alone in the village, not a very great parentage, and practically unknown to the public. She assumed no importance at all. He was born in that rustic environment as a small child. So what lesson we learn from this? If we have a handsome body, or if we are very rich, or if we are very learned, if we become proud, and if we become unruly and unrestricted in our actions, then we may lose that position, and we may attain a degraded position like this. That's one lesson we learn. Which means we have to be always alert in this world. No one should be careless or casual. Therefore we say if you are casual, you become casualty. So one has to be very alert always. That's one thing we learn. And another thing we learn is, even though he had a handsome body, he was very attractive looking. He didn't have good association of saintly persons to teach him the right path, and to walk the right path of God, which will ultimately bring about greatest good to him and to the world. This means even if I am rich, or if I am handsome, if I am learned, but if I don't have the association of devotees of God, then I can easily become misled in my life. Therefore we all have to always aspire for the company of the saintly devotees, in whose company our eyes are opened, and the torchlight of knowledge is offered to us, so that we can walk that pure path which will lead us to the spiritual world. So now in this way, from that he fell to this position as a very simple maidservant son. So the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said, sometimes the soul is present in the body of a king. In the next life he can be born in the body of a beggar. Sometimes the soul is present in the body of an angel in the heaven. Another time he may be in the body of an animal in this world. The soul moves from one body to another, covered by the subtle body, means the mind. So in our mind we all are carrying our unfulfilled desires, and we are taking one body, birth after birth, like that. So in this way, from high parentage, he was now born in a low family like this. And one good thing happened to him in that family. One day some saintly Bhakti Vedantas, some saintly Vaishnavas arrived in that village, and they were planning to stay in one Gurukula nearby. And this lady was living in a hut, and the Gurukula was very nearby. So she saw them all coming. She immediately told her son, "My dear son, come, let's go and offer obeisances to the saints, because the saints are actually vehicles of wisdom provided by God. They are always talking about God. They always lead very pure lives. Come, let us go and take their blessings." So she brought the child, and she offered obeisances, and the boy also offered obeisances. This is one good thing. Sometimes you see a parent comes to the temple, and the father and mother are offering obeisances to the Lord. Child just copies it. Therefore we say children, more things are caught than taught, it is said. They catch it by observation. So therefore, it is a great blessing to be born in a good family. Good family means a devotee family. When mother, father are doing some devotion, we also like to copy their behavior and then we benefit. Like Srila Prabhupada, when he was a small child, he and his sister Bhavatarani, they would get up in the morning hearing the ringing of the bell, and then he would see that his father is offering puja to Radha Govinda. Then he would get up and immediately go to the bathroom and take a bath and come and take part in the arati. So Prabhupada says, my father was a pure devotee of Krishna, and by his worship, we also started copying, imitating, he says. And his father trained him in such a way that sometimes Abhay and Bhavatarani would send out a kite in the sky. And they would pray to Krishna that kite goes high, even for that. So whatever they did, they thought it's by only Krishna's grace anything can happen in life. That's a training. Similarly, the small boy was blessed to be trained by his mother to go to saints and offer obeisances. And then she told the boy that, let us render some seva to these saintly persons. So she would ask the boy to fetch some water and provide them. She would ask him to go and give the prasadam plate to the saints. After they finished eating, she would ask the boy to wash the plates. In this way, she engaged the boy in service to the saintly persons. Like here you see, the boy would go and give and then take back the plate, everything. And one of the days, the boy saw that these Vaishnava devotees, they are all sitting together in a circle and studying Srimad Bhagavatam and narrating Lord's very beautiful pastimes. And they were all cheerful at every moment. So he became a little curious. He asked them, sirs, I am born in a low family, I have no qualification. But when I see you all joyfully narrating Lord's pastimes, I am developing eagerness to hear from you. If you permit me, I can also come and sit. So the sages said, dear boy, you don't need any qualification other than this faith that you possess. You have the necessary qualification already with you because you have eagerness to hear. You have the faith to hear. Most welcome. One can be born in any type of family. Anyone can go to the Supreme Lord. All are welcome. But one needs some eagerness, enthusiasm and sincerity to hear. You have that eagerness, please come. You are most welcome. So the boy also went and sat. Tatgan vaham Krishna kadapadayatam anugrahena shravam manohara Tashadayamenu padam vishin padam priyashravasyam namo bhavaruchi. He is telling that by that grace, I heard Krishna Katha from them. They were speaking many nice pastimes. They would talk about how Krishna was only 5 years old when he danced on a 1,000-hooded snake in the Yamuna and subdued his pride. And how, as a 7-year-old boy, he lifted the golden hill and gave shelter to all the residents of Braja. In this way, they were narrating many pastimes and relishing, and the boy also relished it. Gradually, the boy saw that his attraction for Krishna was increasing by hearing those pastimes. And one day he took the prasadam remnants with that permission, and then he says, when I ate that prasadam remnants, all my sinful reactions were gone. And I also developed a great affection to those saintly persons. But they only were there for 4 months during the rainy season. After that day, they had to leave that place, as you see in the picture here. So the boy went to them and he cried, oh sirs, because of your association, my life was becoming so joyful in devotion to Lord Krishna. Now that you are all going away, what will happen to me? And they said, we will give you some good instructions. You carefully, faithfully follow them. Your life will be perfect. So I will tell you 3, 4 very good instructions they gave. First thing they said, in this world, don't give up everything and don't enjoy everything. The enjoying is called bhog. Giving up everything is called tyag. Don't do both, but take everything and use it in Krishna's service. Because everything in this world is created by Lord Krishna. And so everything should be utilized in Lord's service. This is one first lesson they taught. Another lesson they taught him is that wherever there is an opportunity for you to hear the Lord's pastimes, name, form, qualities, pastimes and activities, take advantage. Never miss that opportunity. because this is the only wealth that will go with you. In this world, you may accumulate gold and silver and wealth like money, bank balance, or you may acquire your degrees. All these things will remain behind. Just like in an airport, they have a screening device. They make sure you open your hand and show them that I am not carrying anything. Correct? No? So in the same manner, at the time of death, we will be asked to give up everything. But what will go with us is, the association of saintly persons, from where you learn devotion to Lord Krishna. So they told that take advantage of that association. Another thing they told them was, the spiritual world is like fire, material world is like smoke. Fire serves, smoke troubles in a furnace. So if you want to stop the smoke, what do people do in India? In a furnace, they have a long rod with which they blow. Where they blow. So where should we blow? Should we blow on the smoke or should we blow on the fire? Yeah? Somebody is saying smoke. If you blow on the smoke will spread all around the house and everybody will shout at you. They will say that you are spreading the smoke. So you should blow on the fire. You put it deep inside. Then when the fire increases, smoke will be gone. Similarly, you have fire like spiritual life and smoke like material life. So if you want to get rid of the materialistic problems, increase your Sankirtan fire. When you increase the Sankirtan fire, all material problems will be evaporated. So therefore, intensification of spiritual life is a very easy way to nullify all the troubles that we face with one another living entities in this world. So therefore, when His Holiness Bhaktichar Maharaj once came to Pune, so I told Maharaj, you have built a very big temple in Pune, in 6-acre land. We have a huge project. So I told him that ever since the new temple has come, I am in great anxiety because I am worried that it will become like a very big commercial temple and thousands of people come. And close to 1 million people come every year to the temple, new temple. So I told him, Maharaj, how do we keep the focus in such a temple like this? Maharaj said, very simple. He said, everywhere there is a material component, there is a spiritual component. If you increase material vibration, there will be quarrel, misunderstanding, headache problems. But if you increase the spiritual fire, that will consume the material component, he said. So increase the fire, smoke will be gone. So therefore we have kirtans, we have Annam Sankirtan daily, prasad distribution, and preaching programs. So we keep the whole project vibrant and there will be no material component. So in this way, they told him that spiritual world is like fire, material world is like smoke. So you have to go from material world to spiritual world. For that, increase your taste for Sankirtan. In this way, they gave very good advice. They initiated him into the Lord's name with the mantra, and then they left from there. And eventually, this boy's mother passed away. And although his mother passed away, he became lonely like an orphan. Still, he didn't feel himself like an orphan. The reason was, he in the heart of hearts felt that Lord Krishna is my mother, He is my father, He is my brother, He is my friend, He is my wealth, He is my education, He is everything for me. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhushcha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. That was his consciousness. You are my mother, father, be all and all for me. So in that consciousness he got a shelter. So Srila Prabhupada said, if we can experience Krishna's shelter in our life, we will become fearless and we will become free from anxiety. One time, a small boy told his father, Father, you go on that sidewalk and I will come on this sidewalk. He said. Father asked, why do you want to walk alone? Why don't you come with me? He said, no, I just want to have some fun. So he was walking like his father was walking like this. Father was keeping an eye on the boy. So the boy walked a little distance, a bulldog was sitting on the road. So as soon as he came near, the bulldog immediately, as he did like, boy got frightened. So he ran across the road to his father, and the dog also got up and walked behind him. When he reached the father and caught his hand, then he turned around And now he became very confident. He was just showing his leg like this. Hey, Buddha, get away, don't disturb me. So where did he get the confidence? Because of holding the father's hand. So in the same manner, this boy, because he had taken the association of saintly persons, and he developed firm faith in Krishna, he lost all the fear. He was entering the forest. Although there were jackals and owls howling in the forest, he was not fearful. He was entering the forest. And then he drank some water, took a bath, and then he sat under a tree. And then he chanted the name of the Lord and meditated on the Lord in his heart, Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. And as he entered into the trance, meditating on Lord Vishnu, started by the Bhaktivedantas. At that time, suddenly Lord appeared to him in this beautiful form, 400 form with Shankar Chakra, all those things. Lord was holding a beautiful helmet and earrings. His body was glistening like a bluish sapphire with beautiful garland and everything. So when he had that darshan, very soothing to the eyes, but the darshan lasted only for a few moments only. After that, the Lord vanished. So the boy became very desperate. So then again the boy sat in meditation. He thought that I will do meditation in the same manner and Lord Vishnu will appear in front of me. At that time the Lord spoke to him, my dear boy, you will not be able to see me again during this lifetime, because one who is not complete in services and freed from all material contamination can hardly approach me. So two things the Lord is saying. One thing he's saying is, a sadhaka or a devotee should be complete in services, because service purifies us. So in the purport, Prabhupada was drawing two very vital lessons for all of us. He says, you don't have to go to the jungle and become a yogi. You live in ISKCON temple nearby and then come and render services to the deities of the Lord. You can make dresses for the deities, you can make ornaments for the deities, you can make garlands for the deities, you can do puja of the deities. You can also fetch flowers or grocery or making bhoga for the deities. So in this way, by serving the deities, you will make far more advancement than going to the jungle and living a life in recluse. That was the first point Prabhupada made. Second point Prabhupada is saying that instead of going and living in the jungle and attaining your own liberation, if you become like Narada, go door to door and meet the people, give them Prabhupada's books and request them to chant Hare Krishna, Lord will be more pleased with you. So don't be selfishly interested in your own emancipation. Also have sympathy for the suffering souls and go and reach out. This is the second point Prabhupada is making. So in this way, Prabhupada has awarded us a wonderful facility, the ISKCON temples, where we have beautiful deities of Radha Gopala here. So service to the Lord, if we keep doing it, that service will gradually purify us and the service will become complete. The Lord will become satisfied. In Vrindavan, there was Radha Damodar temple where Sri Prabhupada was living. Prabhupada would notice that early in the morning, like 5 o'clock or so, one very old lady, she would bring a pitcher of water. So it would be very difficult for her to carry it because she's a very old woman. With frail body, like almost like 80 years old. Her body would be trembling when she would bring that pitcher. And then she would come and keep it in front of the sanctorum. When it be closed, nobody knows who is bringing that water. No, there is no one to appreciate her or encourage her. But she was firmly convinced that Krishna is my dear Lord and I have to do some service to him. So she would go to Yamuna, fetch that water, come and keep it in front of the altar, and she would go away. And Prabhupada was noticing it. Prabhupada said, this lady is definitely going back to Godhead. Prabhupada said, because although she is very old and invalid, she is putting the best of whatever little ounces of energy is in her body in rendering that service. So, in this way, when one is rendering services in a wholehearted manner, the Lord becomes very pleased. Another thing the Lord said, Avipakva Kashayanam, he said, when we are not freed from all material contamination, then they cannot see me, the Lord said. So what is the mental contamination? We all have three propensities in us which makes our life troublesome. And we become troubled and we trouble others also. These three propensities are explained by Prabhupada in many places: proprietorship, controllership, and enjoyership. So proprietorship means people want to possess more and more. They are not satisfied with what Krishna has given. Possession can be land. For example, Bali Maharaj wanted to possess not only the land allotted to demons, but he wanted to usurp the kingdom of the demigods also. Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas. So this is about usurping land. And similarly, one may be also be very possessive of one's relatives and friends. For example, Suruchi and Suniti, you see, Suruchi wanted to keep her husband under her control. She was a very good-looking wife, so she was keeping her husband under control, and she did not allow her co-wife's son to sit on the lap of the father. So similarly in homes, in India, sometimes you find the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law have a fight sometimes, because mother-in-law wants her son to be hers, and daughter-in-law wants her husband to be hers. So she says, my husband, and mother says, my son. So there's a tug of war. So because of possessiveness. So this is proprietorship. Controllership means Hiranyakashipu tried to control Prahlad, and ultimately he wanted to wipe out Prahlad, and he got destroyed himself. So similarly, the tendency to control is to boss over and lord over other living beings in this world. You find that one country is fight like the fight between Hamas and Israel. You find that it has been going on for a long time. Similarly, fight between Russia and Ukraine. Russia is going on for a long time. So everybody, man and man, try to dominate one another, family and family, and then one country and another country. So everybody wants everybody to be under their control, that kind of thing. And similarly, enjoyership. Everybody wants to be the pivot in this world. So these are all contaminations. So actually, Lord Krishna is the pivot of everything. We all are revolving around there. So to think that I want to be the center and the whole world will revolve around me and everybody will get my beck and call, and that kind of idea. So these are impurities which, to put it more easily, precisely they are lust, anger and greed. Krishna calls them as gateways to hell. So these are contaminations in our heart. And what is the opposite of that? We should transform lust into love, and we should give up the anger and become peaceful, knowing Krishna to be the controller. And we have to make Krishna the central worshipable, lovable object in our life. Actually, one I wondered, why should I serve him? He will be happy and I have to serve. People don't like to become servant in this world. But actually, to become a servant of the Lord is the greatest attainment in spiritual life. Why we don't like to become servant in this world? Because we tend to think that in this world, being a servant means like a slave. We tend to think that it's a very despicable position, we think. Actually, if you become Krishna's servant, then Krishna becomes his servant's servant. Like Pandavas are Krishna's servant, but Krishna became Arjuna's charioteer. Yashoda is Krishna's servant. Krishna became bound with the ropes in the hands of Yashoda. So you will see that Lord becomes purchased by a devotee who considers himself or herself a servant. Like in Jagannath Rath Yatra, you can see the Lord gives the control of the ropes in the hands of his devotees and says, now I am in your control, you take charge of me. Wherever you drag me, I will go. He's ready to go to Vrindavan, isn't it? So, spiritual life means Lord gives his control to devotees give their control to Lord. So this is a transcendental competition between the two. They both feel joyful. In this world, none of us may want to give our control to anybody. Hey, you will control me, I will not let you control me. We say like, the Lord says, here I am, take my ropes. You drag me to Vrindavan, I will come. So devotees, like Arjuna is giving his ropes of his chariot to Krishna. Krishna, you take charge of my ropes of my horses. Actually, rope of a horse chariot means mind. The horses are compared to senses, ropes are compared to mind. Handing over his mind to Krishna. And in the place of intelligence, he has kept Krishna. That means he is accepting intelligence from Krishna and he has handed over his mind to Krishna. Who? Arjuna. In this way, devotees and Lord are transcendently competing, serving one another joyfully. So, in this way, Lord told the boy that you will become purified from all contaminations and then you can attend me. But actually, if you read the commentary of Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur in this purport, he says the boy was already a pure devotee, he says. Otherwise, Lord would not have given him any darshan at all. Lord gave him darshan because he was already a pure devotee. Then why does the Lord say like that? Because the Lord wanted to increase his humility and increase his desperation in his heart, longing in his heart, so that he may want to meet the Lord again. So Lord wanted to increase his thrill and eagerness. That's one reason why Lord spoke like this. Although the boy was already pure. Second thing he says, the boy had a love for God, but the love was infant love. So Lord wanted to see that love develop into adult love, which means more thick love. Now the love was thin, but he wanted to make it thick. So for that Lord wanted to give him some time. So he gave him some time, and then subsequently the Lord told him, as a special favor, I have shown myself to you just to increase your desire to come to me. And then by my mercy, you will always remember me and will continue making advancement in Krishna consciousness even at the time of creation and annihilation. So the Lord told him, although you will not see me in this life, the next life will become a pure devotee and then you will see me. See? Now, so that's fully absorbed. So the boy became very happy that at least Lord spoke by the sound in the sky, and then told me what I should be doing. So the boy went to many holy places. Subsequently, he was preaching Krishna consciousness. So sometimes you would see a gopuram and you would see a chakra in the top, you would offer obeisances. Sometimes you would see holy ponds and rivers, you would take a bath. Sometimes you would meet saintly persons, you would discuss Krishna Katha with them. You would enter the temples and see the Sri Vigraha, deities of the Lord, and offer obeisances. In this way, he traveled to different places, met different people, and this boy became a pure devotee eventually. And then one day he met with death. Just see what happened there. Instantaneously, I received the transcendental form as Narada. Since then, by grace of Lord Vishnu, I have been traveling everywhere, both in spiritual and material world, singing on Veena, glories of the Lord. Devadattam yimam veenam swara brahma vibhushikam murtayitva harikatam gayamanascharamyaham. He's saying that Lord Vishnu himself called me personally and said, "Oh Narada, you are a pure devotee, you are my pure devotee, I am giving you my own veena to you. Take it. Play on this veena and sing songs, and you travel from one planet to another. Wherever you wish you may go, I am giving you full freedom now." And then in this way I became an Narada. And that this is my third life, like he said. So his first life was Upavargana, a Gandharva, from where he fell down and became a son of a maidservant. And the son of a maidservant was the second birth. And then by the association with saintly Vaishnavas, he got elevation to become pure devotee Narada, who preached to Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prachina Parishad, and so many others. Very, very great preacher. So, although he was a Gandharva, he fell to a lower position. But from lower position, by association with saintly Vaishnavas, he got elevation to higher position. That's another lesson we can learn in this pastime. That means, association with saintly devotees is always purifying and elevating. And they can place from the lowest position of the Dasi's son of a maidservant, he went on to become pure devotee, worshipable by the whole world. So this goes to show the power of the good association, saintly association, in which he learned many, many good lessons in his life. So the lovely speech of the Lord in the lonely jungle touched the heart of the boy. Because the Lord did not neglect me, at least he has told me that he will see me in the next life. So that gave him very great hope. Similarly, for all of us also, Srila Prabhupada has given a blessing. All your life you chant 16 rounds and follow the 4 curative principles. And definitely Krishna will take you back home, back to Godhead. If you do this till your last breath, you don't have to do anything very big. Keep the practice of chanting Hare Krishna daily, and follow the curative principles, and enter some service and keep getting more and more purified. So we should take this sadhana practice that Prabhupada has given us very seriously, because although the process is simple, we should execute it with great faith. Then only we can attain perfection like what Narada achieved. Thank you. Let's take some questions. 10 minutes.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
When you were speaking about how we don't want to be under the control of someone else, could you elaborate more on that?
Yeah, correct. For example, when someone is working in a company, he is a boss, and the boss is away for a week, this fellow feels very happy. Now I am free now. And when the boss is right above him, the boss wants to extract more work from him than the money that he pays. And the man wants to work less but make more money. So the relationship is one of exploitation in the outside world. Because everybody thinks in terms of what is in it for me. They think about their own selfish interest. And in such a relationship, it's a very bitter relationship. It's not a very happy relationship. Similarly, businessman also, for example, he is thinking, I will sell a commodity in 5 times the price, make a lot of money. And the buyer is thinking that I will pay the least money and get a product which will be more profitable to me. So in this world, everybody is thinking in terms of how to cheat the other person and make more for myself. So this type of exploitative relationship is what that makes the servantship unpleasant in this world. So because we all think that if I become a servant, the other person will dominate me. So in a home also sometimes, with husband and wife, Srila Prabhupada says how they should be. Like Lord Narayana, at his feet, Lakshmi ji is massaging his feet. You must have seen Lord Narayana is lying in a snake bed. Lakshmi is massaging. Lord Narayana is telling her, in my heart I have a place for you. You can come and reside as a golden hair. That's the place. It's called Srivatsa Chinna, we call it. Lord is telling her to rest, but she wants to serve. And Prabhupada said it's a very sweet relationship. Because Lord is saying, rest, rest. She is saying, no, I want to serve, I want to serve. On the other hand, imagine if Lord Narayana is telling her, why don't you massage my feet? And she says, no, I want to rest. That would be just the opposite. Correct, no? So then that would be exploitative relationship. So therefore, husband and wife are spiritual partners in their life. They actually mutually help one another to make the family a sweet family. That's only possible when they both are humble and grateful. If they are not like that, then both of them think that the other fellow is meant to serve me, then it's a very unpleasant family. Correct, no? So, and also when one tries to dominate the other, then they can put a board in their home sweet home, but it won't be a sweet home. So, in this world, you can only agree to become a servant, provided you have trust in the master, that the master will not exploit me. That, for example, Radheshyam Maharaj is a devotee. So his brothers are ready to work under him, because they know that being a pure devotee, he will not exploit them. So, if you have a non-exploiting master, we will be very happy to serve in this world. But because it's rare in this world, therefore people fear to become servant. That's what I was saying. Is that clear now? It makes sense?
Yes. I mean, sometimes
Is the mic on? Yeah.
Sometimes, Billy gives up trying to dominate in the material world, but then they may see opportunity, oh, I will be a big leader in the Hare Krishna movement, or I will be temple commander, or, just something. There may still be that tendency to
Yeah.
want to dominate in
Yeah.
society.
Yeah. Like for example, if somebody is made a leader, they have to do two things. One is be a humble servant of those who are properly aligned. At the same time, the leader also has to check evil elements by taking strict action. For example, in the Vedic times also, the kings had three duties. You can remember the PAW, protection, administration, welfare. So protection means they have to protect women, children, old people, cows, and Brahmins, teachers of the Vedic knowledge. So for protecting them, the king has to be violent sometimes. For example, if a woman's honor is under threat, then the king may have to raise a sword to attack those fellows who are trying to trouble women. Similarly, if a child or a cow is going to be exploited, like Parikshit Maharaj saw a cow was being beaten, so he immediately took the sword. So the king has to be strong also. Not that in the name of not becoming proud, he can't afford to be weak-minded. He has to be strong-minded. To take severe action against the thieves and rogues. He has to do that. And administration means law and order. He has to make law and order, and people have to align by that law and order. Those who don't abide by the law, then he has to have he has to mete out some ways to punish them also. So the king has one side which is compassionate side, and he also has the justice side also. Both are required. So violence and non-violence have their respective places. So it's not that only non-violence should be used always. Sometimes violence is required. One time Srila Prabhupada was with one Buddhist guru. So the Buddhist guru was telling Prabhupada that we should always be non-violent. And Prabhupada said violence also has a place, but he didn't agree. So then Prabhupada asked that Buddhist guru that, say you are walking in the road with your disciples, maybe some of them are female disciples. If somebody comes and catches their hand and pulls them, what will you do? Like he asked. The Buddhist guru thought for a few moments. He said, I won't do anything, he said. And then Prabhupada immediately asked, and then immediately some of the female disciples, they were shocked. They asked the guru, you will not take any action? If somebody is trying to assault us, you will not take any action. So then he was speechless. And then Prabhupada said, therefore violence also has a place. So the kings, they were unnecessarily not violent. But otherwise, there are some evil forces in this world which require some amount of violence to subdue them. Therefore, a king has to be simultaneously mild and fierce. Like that our Bhishma says this. To his advice to Radheshyam Maharaj. A king should be polite and firm, fierce and mild, bold and sensitive, courageous and considerate. So he has to blend these two qualities. By blending these two qualities, a king can be successful. Like that he says. Is that all right?
Thank you very much.
We have time for one question.
Can you repeat you said BOW? What was that?
W is welfare. Welfare means not only the king should lay roads and then plant trees on either side, arrange for food, arrange for water, but he also has to build a temple so that all the citizens can come and worship the Lord and become devotees and cleanse their hearts by chanting the holy name. So these are all welfare. So protection, administration, welfare. PAW, three things. These are the duties of a king. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. This
Thank
was
you.
such a beautiful class, kindling devotion.
Yeah, it's very beautiful pastime of Narada, yeah. The picture was nice. Although I got it from children's books, still I like these pictures very much. It reminds us of the whole pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, the verse that was under consideration, it said, for the Lord did not give him darshan again, so that
Lord told him that now I gave you one darshan just to, like sample soap. Sample soap you don't take charges, you know. But if you want a big soap, you have to pay the price. And the price you have to pay is these two things. You have to, your services should be complete and you should become clean at heart fully. And that won't happen in this life. But when this life is over, next life will be a pure devotee. Then you will see me, like that he said. Alright, no?
Thank you. So, Prabhu, from this pastime, it appears that when we spend a life of hankering for the Lord, then we attain Him.
Correct.
And it appears that the Lord gave him this sample so that he could hanker more and more.
Correct. That hankering is called as Krishna Lalasa, greed for attaining Krishna. Shunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virena. The Lord wanted to increase that feelings of separation so that it intensifies the bhakti, grows very powerfully. Like when you're very hungry, when you give a full plate of prasad, then you appreciate more. Yeah, yes.
So, Prabhu, as sadhakas, we feel some hankering for the Lord kindled when we hear such classes associated with fixed up devotees like your good self. But on our own, we feel powerless, even though we may desire to have such a hankering all the time, but still the mind may go toward
Actually,
material
no
hankers.
devotee can think that I can have that hankering on my own. Just like, for example, when Lord Krishna took the conch, when he came to Dwaraka, Panchadanya, and kept in his lips, and he blew the shank. He blew that. At the time, the white conch became reddish. So there, Sri Prabhupada writes, by the touch of Krishna's lips, the conch became reddish. Similarly, all the objects in this world become sanctified by Krishna touch. So in this way, our propensity for Krishna consciousness becomes kindled and developed by coming in good association. And it's not wrong with that. You have to just make sure, real intelligence means to take advantage of the good association and not neglect it or not be careless about it, not take it casually. So as much as you can take, and in that association we will blossom. The time will come when that will grow to a point where it will be, just like for example, take a mango sapling. My spiritual master used to tell this story. You know, one fellow had a small mango sapling. A goat came and said, "Can I eat some leaves?" He said, don't eat, he said. A man came with the axe to cut. "Can I take some firewood?" He said, "No, don't cut, he said. And one lady came to pluck the leaves for medicinal purposes. And he told her, don't pluck, he said. And they all went away. Then after some time, this sapling grew into a tree and became a big tree. And there had many branches and flowers and fruits and everything. Now he called all of them and said, now you pluck as many leaves as you want. And you can cut some branches if you want. You know. And he told the goat, you can also eat if you want. So that means the tree is in a stage where it is in a taking in stage, the early stage. Later on it is in a giving out stage. So the service contribution increases after we develop maturity. The early stage we should be in a mode of taking in. So till we build that strength, then only we can give. So therefore every devotee should make sure that I'm taking good association and getting stronger in spiritual life. Then when we are inspired to give, then we can also give. And in this way, we have to feel that stability in spiritual life. And that stability will always come with good association. Like my good morning program, with good association with devotees, and study of Prabhupada's books, scrutinizingly, company of the devotees. Alright? Thank you. One last question.
Yeah.
Adios.
I have a great presentation. I wanted to ask you, like, how to be spiritual and passionate both at the same time. Like, is it possible?
And passionate for what?
Passionate for professional life.
Ah.
Like maybe it can be a job or starting a business or anything.
So some people wrongly think that, spiritual interest may kill, ambition, material ambitions. They tend to think like that. Because when you become a spiritualist, you tend to think that I have to go back to Godhead. The material world is temporary place. One day we have to give up everything and go. So keeping that in mind, people may become weak in profession and more stronger in spiritual life. People tend to think like that. Therefore, Lord Krishna told Arjuna that you are a warrior. He says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara cha. He says, mamanusmara cha. In your heart you remember me, but externally you are a warrior, you should do the war also. Mamanusmara yudhya. Yudhya means to fight. So you are a student. So you have to study, but heart of hearts you should remember Krishna. How do you do that? The morning for Krishna, daytime for profession, evening for family. You divide your day like that. But somebody was asking, can we put family in the morning? No, family in the morning, if you put, you'll be quarreling with wife. Early morning. Better that you put Krishna in the morning. Because morning you cool down your head by chanting the holy name, studying Bhagavatam. Then you are spiritually strong. Then both the profession and family will be good. Right now?
So,
like one morning he comes from Bangladesh and he is all of us. So, in this way, you can give due time for all the three. It's like a tripod. A tripod has 3 legs. One leg you remove, it will fall off.
Yeah.
So, you have to pay attention to all the 3. It's devotional, professional, and family. Alright?
Thank you.
Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki.
Radheshyam Prabhu ki.
You want microphone?
So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for joining us today.